Hey guys, how's it going? It's Mackenzie here. This is part 3 of the Swift series. Just like I promised, we're actually going to build an app today. So if you open Xcode 8, you should get a screen like this. If you don't, it's easy. Just go on top, click File, New Project, and then we're ready to go. But if you do get this screen, you're going to click right here, Create New Project. After that, you should get a screen that looks somewhat like this. And you want to go to iOS, single view application. These are different templates you guys can use, but for now, because we're building a simple app, we're going to go to single view application. For product name, this is a name of your app. So because we're going to be building a calculator today, we're just going to name it Cal. And everything else for now does not matter. Probably later on we'll talk about them, but for now we're going to keep it simple. Make sure language is Swift, device iPhone, and you're ready to go. It's going to access where we want to save it. I'm just going to click desktop, and it loads our project. Just going to make it full width. Okay, awesome. Now you're going to get a whole lot of files. This is not like your playground. This is your actual interface. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over here where it's storyboard. Once you click that, it should take some time to load. My computer is acting a little slow today. Sorry about that. Guys, okay, so I'm back now. Just letting it load. So you're gonna get something like this. Now this is basically how your app is laid out. So this is how your app is gonna look. So if we think about our calculator, we're gonna keep it really simple. We wanna have a couple buttons for adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And also what we're gonna do is we need 2 text fields. Now text fields is a way for the user to input data or input a number or his name. So we're gonna go over here where we see our objects, where you see me scrolling right here. And first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna find text fields. So we're gonna drag it in. There we go. And I'm just gonna make it full width. Gonna make that one full width as well, and this is gonna be for number 1 and number 2. Now if we click on here, you're gonna see if you go to the 4th one, this is your properties. These are the properties that you can edit for this text field. So there's one that we're gonna look for named placeholder. So for here I'm gonna put please enter a number. And as you can see, it puts it right there. So this lets the user know to enter a number in that text field. I'm gonna put it again here. There we go, awesome. So once we have this, we have both of our text fields. Now we need some kind of actions, something to click to add these two together. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna search down here in our objects. So I'm gonna search something called a button. There we go. Delete that one. Awesome. Now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make this full as well. And I'm gonna add some color to it actually. So we click here, we go to the properties, we go to background, click that, and let's see. There we go. Now I can't see my text, so we could also go to properties, text color. Let's click that. Let's make it white, and there we go. Now the button currently says button. That's not that helpful. You could either double click it to edit it, or we're gonna get you guys used to using the properties. So if you click it right here, go to properties, title, and this is the name of it. So we're gonna put add. There we go. Awesome, everything's working fine. Now there's one problem that we're currently having, which is where do we display our text? Now, where you display information, you usually use something called a label. A label is basically, it just holds text. It says it right here. It's static text. You're not able to click it. It just shows data. So we're gonna put this right on top of all the numbers. And I kind of want it to be in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is I click this, go to alignment, middle. There we go. So this is the layout of our app. If I actually go to the simulator right now, if you want to run this app, what we do is we go to right here and we pick our device that we want to run it on. I want to run it on an iPhone 6. So I'm going to click run, and this might take a while because the simulator needs to boot up, but I'm going to be back when the simulator boots up. So give me a second, guys. Awesome. So my simulator loaded, and as you can tell, the iPhone is running and it looks exactly how we designed it. Awesome. So if we put in a number right here, let's see, I put in 1 here, 11 here, and put numbers there, and I click add. Why is my app not working? Now guys, creating an app is not like that. You have to actually put in code. I just wanted to show that example. So we're going to do kind of like what we did in the playground, but now we're going to make all of this work. Now, as you can tell, these are the steps you do when creating an app. First thing you do is plan it. So we plan everything we need. We need a label to show the sum, 2 numbers, and a button. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to click this button right here. The middle one right there. Awesome. And what we're going to do is gonna make this a little bit smaller. Now this view controller is attached to this one view right here. So what we need to do is get a reference to all these little elements we have. So we're gonna go in order. So this one right here, what we're gonna do is just gonna make some space after that. And what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna hold Control and drag. There we go. Once you let go, you're going to get something called an outlet. An outlet is a connection to an element. So we got to name it. So I'm going to name it total underscore label. There we go. We see it right here. And if we hover over it, it shows that it's highlighted. Awesome. So we're going to do the same thing for this one. And I'm going to name number 1 dot text, underscore text. I just like to put the underscore slash the element it is, just so I know. But you guys don't really have to do that. You can name anything you guys want. There we go. That's for number 2. Just going to clean this up a little bit. Now for the button, we're going to do something a little bit different. Once we drag in the button, you're going to notice a couple things. You have something called an action now. And now action is what do you want to happen when you click it. These other ones don't have that because you're not really clicking it. Yeah, you are clicking the text field, but it has nothing to handle. If you click it, the keyboard just pops up. On the other hand, a button, all it does is you click it. Now you could make it an outlet. The reason you'll make it an outlet is to change its properties. But for now, we already did that in the storyboard. We're not going to change the text or any of that. So what we're going to do is just simply create an action for it. And I'm going to name that button add. And as soon as I click enter, boom, it creates our action and our app is ready to go. We're ready to start coding. So I'm going to close that. I clicked on this tab right here. I'm going to go to our view controller. Oh, just a quick example before I go to the view controller. I'm going to show you that this file is linked to this view. So the way you do that, you click on this view and you click on the third one right here, third tab, and it says class view controller. Now, if you click this right here, it links to that what's it called, to that controller. So keep that in mind. Each view needs its own separate controller. All right, so now that we have this, let's think about it real quick. What exactly are we going to be doing? We're going to be adding these two numbers if we click this. So let's do exactly that. I'm going to create a variable, sum, or we'll just name it total, whatever you guys want. You're going to put the data type. I'm going to keep the data type integer, and we're going to do number one dot, and we're going to do dot. And if we go back to our storyboard for a second, we click here and we see that we have a property called text. Now that's what we want. We want to know what's the text that we have inside currently, aka our number. So we go dot text, and if I put TE, you see all like suggestions, and you see that text is going to be a string. Now if you watch our other data type video, you see that we can't really add strings. So what we're going to do is going to convert this string into an integer. So we're going to click this right here, and I'm going to surround it with something with an integer. Integer. Now you're going to get a little error here. Now the reason is because if you notice with this text, let's go again, you see that it's optional. It's an optional text. Now you can't put the optional inside the int. So what you're going to have to do, if you click this arrow right here, it actually show us if we want to unwrap it. So we click this right here, and that makes sure this is to make sure, like, we're basically saying, hey, yes, I'm sure there's an integer number in here, and it's going to ask us to do one more inside. And the one inside is basically saying, yes, unwrap it, I'm sure there's text inside. So you're going to need those two. Hope that wasn't too confusing. So we're going to do the same thing for number two. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And now we have our total. And we simply just want to display it on our total label. So if we do total label, pops up right there, click dot, let's see if it has a text parameter, and it does. It does have a text parameter, so we're just going to click that, equals total, right? That's what you guys are thinking of doing, but not so fast. That won't work. The reason that doesn't work is, let's check this again. That's a string. So easy to fix. It's just doing this. There you go. Now this should work. No errors. Let's run our app. Let it build. Remember, the old-fashioned way did not work, just putting total here, because text needs to be a string, and total, as we let it, it has to be an integer. So text int doesn't really go, so we needed to kind of convert the total into a string again. Now that our app is running, let's put our number here. We're going to put 2 plus 2, and moment of truth, 4. Awesome. Here we go. If I put 200 in here, just keeps adding. That's great. Now, if you did notice something, I'm going to teach you guys one more thing before I end this video, and that's going to be, you noticed how before, when we first loaded the app, I'm actually going to load it again. I'm going to cancel the app. I'm going to cancel the app, and I'm going to run it again. We noticed that the label just said label. So how can we fix that? Oh, I'm just going to run it again in Xcode. We noticed that the label said label, and how could we fix that? For on default, as soon as this view loads, don't display label, we want it to display total, right? So See this label? You could do it on storyboard, but we're not going to do it on storyboard. We're going to do the cool way. We're going to code it. So you see this thing called view did load. This function called view did load loads exactly when the view loads. So what we're going to do is we're going to do total dot label dot text. I'm going to set it to yeah, but we're going to set it to please enter two numbers to add. Yeah, that looks cool. So let's click run. There we go. Now that looks like an actual app. The user knows exactly what to do. He's going to enter two numbers, 3, 11, and there we go. It adds the two numbers. Now, one last thing, I'm going to do the subtracting. Then I want you guys on your own time to try adding, dividing, and also multiplying. So I'm actually going to do the sub right now. Just going to add one more button. Don't want to make the video too long, but I hope you guys learn a couple things. I'm going to go over everything as soon as I add this one more button. So I'm actually just going to copy and paste this button. There we go. Gonna double click it. Sub. Now what's the next step, guys? We need to add an outlet to it. So we click here. Let's create an action. And we're gonna name it button sub. Now this is gonna be really simple, guys, because we already did all the hard part. So all we gotta do really is just copy this. Let's put it inside this function. And we're gonna change the sign. Now that should work. Let it build. Our app's gonna run. And we'll have that new button. So if you guys noticed, there's a couple steps you need to keep in mind when creating an app. So first thing is think about everything that you need. So all the elements, and then you get started. So let's just test this and I'll go back to what I was saying. So 4 minus 2, click sub, equals 2. If I add them, equals 6. Awesome, our app is working perfectly fine. On your own time, try adding multiplication and dividing. Challenge yourself. If you guys need help, comment below. I'll tell you guys the code for it. But let's go back to what I was saying, which was what do you guys need to do? You need to make sure you plan how the app is going to look. So you see how we planned everything we need. We need 2 text views so the user can enter, 2 buttons so you can click and do actions, and somewhere to display. Make sure for your elements that are going to be dynamic, they're going to be changing, you need to add an outlet somewhere where you can connect to it. And you see right here, it lets you highlight so you know what outlet is connected to what. Basically, outlets just let us talk to this view, you know, lets us, hey, I want to change this label to say, please enter 2 numbers. That's all they do. They're really important. We're going to be using them on every app we make. And again, every view has a view controller. Now, they're not always going to be named view controller. This is just the default name for it. But, you know, I could change the name of it to be anything we want. But just keep in mind, all of them have a class of a view controller. We're going to go over this in another video. But I hope you guys enjoy this simple calculator that we built. Don't forget to challenge yourself, guys, and try building something. Try doing the multiplication and dividing. But anyways, this is Mackenzie, aka Max HD Tutorials. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In the next video, we're going to be doing something completely different. We're going to be still doing an app. No more playground, guys. So we're going to actually be building an app. And we'll go over a couple new things. I hope you guys enjoy. This is Mackenzie. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment if you guys need help or any questions. And catch you guys in the next video.